I still can't believe we're finally here, I whispered to Ethan as we stood behind the curtains. Months of work, and now it's our moment. He smiled, but it felt different. Yeah, our moment, I repeated, needing to hear it again, needing to believe it. The host's voice echoed from the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ethan Cole and Mason Blake, presenting their innovative business project. I froze. Wait, Mason, why is Mason? Ethan adjusted his tie. He's helping with the pitch. You didn't tell me. Relax, he cut me off. It's still our project. We walked out into the bright lights. My heart pounded as the investors turned their attention toward us. I waited for Ethan to introduce me, like we'd rehearsed 100 times. Instead, he stepped forward alone. Good evening, I'm Ethan Cole, founder and lead developer of this project. I blinked. Founder, I muttered under my breath. Mason leaned toward me, smirking. Just smile, Dan. Let the grown-ups talk. The words burned. What the hell is this? I hissed. Ethan ignored me and clicked to the first slide, our design, our months of research. But my name wasn't there. Not anywhere. I whispered urgently, Ethan, my name, where is it? Not now, he said smoothly, still smiling for the audience. Let me handle this. Let you handle stealing. I spat quietly. He kept talking, selling my ideas as if they were his. Mason chimed in with fake enthusiasm, playing the perfect partner. The audience nodded, impressed. I stood there, my hands clenched, feeling invisible in front of dozens of eyes. My throat tightened, my stomach turned. When Ethan finished, the room erupted in applause. He shook hands with the investors like a star. I tried to speak, to step forward, but Mason blocked me. Sorry, Dan, he said under his breath. There's no we anymore. I shoved past him and caught Ethan near the edge of the stage. What the hell was that? He didn't even look ashamed. Business, Dan. I had to make a decision. A decision to cut me out. After everything we built. You were slowing things down, he said casually. Investors want confidence. I gave it to them. Confidence. You gave them lies. It's done, he said, already walking away. Don't make a scene. Don't make a scene. My voice rose, drawing a few curious glances. You just stole my work in front of everyone. Mason stepped in, grinning. You should be thanking him. He just saved this project from your amateur hands. I laughed bitterly. Right, saved it by stabbing me in the back. Before I could say more, I saw Mark, my brother, standing near the exit. Relief flooded me. Mark, you saw that, right? Tell them. But he just shook his head. Dan, maybe this is for the best. I froze. What? You've always been a little unrealistic, he said quietly. Ethan knows what he's doing. Are you serious? My voice cracked. You're siding with him. Mark sighed. I'm not getting in the middle of this. Good luck, Dan. He walked away. Just like that, the noise in the room faded into a dull hum. I stood there, alone, as Ethan laughed with Mason, clinking glasses with the investors. I stepped outside into the cold night air, my breath visible in the light from the street lamps. My phone buzzed, a message from Ethan. Don't take this personally, it's just business. My fingers trembled as I typed back. Business, you're a thief. No reply. The door opened behind me. Mason stepped out, lighting a cigarette. You should move on, Dan. Find a new hobby. This world's too big for dreamers like you. I wanted to punch him. Instead, I said, enjoy it while it lasts. He smirked. Oh, I will. He walked back inside, leaving me in the cold. My chest ached, not from the wind but from the weight crushing my ribs. I leaned against the wall, staring at the ground. Every memory of late nights working, every conversation about the future, it all felt like a joke now. I trusted Ethan more than anyone. I thought Mark would always have my back. I was wrong. A group of investors walked past, talking about Ethan's genius. Not our genius, Ethan's. I clenched my jaw. I could almost hear my father's voice from years ago. You won't make it, Daniel. People will step on you if you let them. He was right, but I wasn't going to let this be the end. I pulled out my phone again, scrolling through contacts. One by one, the names blurred. People I thought were friends. People I thought would stand by me. No one answered when I called. Not Clara, not even Sophie. I ended up staring at my own reflection in a dark window, messy hair, tired eyes, a suit that suddenly felt too big. That was the moment it hit me. I had nothing left to lose. The door opened again, and Ethan stepped out, his tie loosened, his face smug. You still here? Don't make this harder on yourself. I forced a smile. You think this is over? It is over, he said, stepping closer. You're out, I'm in. That's the end of it. I leaned forward, just enough for him to see the fire in my eyes. No, Ethan, this is the beginning. He frowned, but I walked away before he could speak again. The cold bit into my skin as I crossed the street, but my mind was burning. Every step I took away from that building felt heavier, and yet sharper, more certain. I didn't know how, but I was going to make him regret every single second of tonight. Mr. Hughes, I need a chance, I said, standing in his office doorway. He looked up from his desk. Daniel, I heard what happened with Ethan. It's unfortunate. I forced a laugh. He stole everything, and now I'm out of work. He sighed. That's exactly why I can't hire you back. The rumors are damaging. They're lies, and you know it. I can't take that risk, he said quietly. Clients are nervous enough as it is. I stepped closer. So, what? I'm just supposed to start over from nothing. That's not my call, he replied, looking back at his papers. I'm sorry. I walked out before he could say another word. Sorry didn't pay rent. Sorry didn't feed me. That night, I called Mark. Hey, I need. Dan, I can't. He cut me off. You don't even know what I was going to ask. You were going to ask for money, or a place to stay, right? I stayed silent. I can't get involved in this. Ethan's connected. I have my own life to think about. Your own life, I repeated. Right, forget I called. Dan, I hung up. I tried Clara next. Clara, it's me. Can we talk? A pause. I don't think that's a good idea right now. Because of what Ethan said. I just don't want to get in the middle. You already chose your side, I said, my voice flat. She didn't reply. 3 days later, my landlord knocked on my door. You're 2 months behind, he said. I'll get it soon, I told him. Daniel, I've been patient, but I need the apartment back. I packed that night, stuffing what little I had into 2 duffel bags. Sleeping in the car was worse than I imagined. The seat never felt right. My breath fogged the windows. The streetlight outside flickered like it was mocking me. I woke up sore and cold every morning, my phone lighting up with rejection emails. By the 5th day, I was sitting in a diner with a cup of coffee I couldn't afford when my phone buzzed. Sophie, hey, you okay? I stared at the screen. Sophie had barely spoken to me at work before everything fell apart. Me, yeah, I'm fine. Sophie, you don't sound fine. Me, just tired. How's the job? Sophie, busy. But, if you need anything. Me, I'm good. Really, it was a lie, and we both knew it. That night, I sat in the car with the engine off, the silence pressing in. My hands were numb, but my mind wouldn't stop. Every word from Ethan, every look from Mark, every excuse from Hughes replayed over and over. I whispered to myself, you can't stay here. You can't stay like this. I thought about my father's voice again. If you let them step on you once, they'll do it forever. He'd been harsh, but he'd been right. I pulled out my phone and opened a blank note. I typed 4 words, make them regret it. I read it twice, then saved it. This wasn't where I ended. This was where I started. The cafe was noisy, the kind of place where no one cared if you sat for hours nursing one drink. My laptop was open, resume pulled up, a half-written email to yet another recruiter blinking at me. I pressed my phone to my ear. Yes, I was a co-founder. We had traction, early investment interest. The recruiter's tone was flat. And the company, it collapsed. Disagreements with my partner. I see. I can send samples of my work, I said quickly. I'll let you know if we have anything, they replied, already ending the call. I closed my eyes, exhaling. Disagreements, a voice said from the next table. I turned. A man in his 50s, silver hair, tailored suit. He was watching me over the rim of his coffee cup. Sorry, you said you had disagreements with your partner. Sounded more like betrayal. I stiffened. Were you listening to my call? You were speaking loudly, he said, not apologizing. Victor Kane. He extended a hand. I shook it, unsure. Daniel Reed. You still have the work from that project? He asked. I hesitated. Some of it. Show me. Why? Because I'm curious, he said, as if that settled it. Against my better judgment, I slid my laptop toward him and opened the portfolio folder. He scrolled in silence for a minute. Interesting, he said finally. Just interesting. I asked. You have talent, he said. But no strategy. You build like an artist, not a businessman. I was both, I said. Clearly not both enough. The sting hit harder than I expected. Thanks for the pep talk. Don't misunderstand, Victor said. I'm not insulting you. I'm telling you why you lost. And you know that how. Because I've built things. And I've kept them. That's harder. I crossed my arms. So what's your point? My point is you need training. You need someone who knows the game. And you're offering a junior position, he said, sipping his coffee. My company. You'll learn. You'll start at the bottom. If you last, you'll move up. I studied him. Why me? Because I like finding rough stones and seeing if they shine. I sat back, trying to read him. And if I say no, then you go back to cold calls and coffee shops. I looked at my screen, then at him. When do I start? He smiled faintly. Monday, 7 a.m. Don't be late. That night, I texted Sophie. Me. Got a job offer. Sophie. What? Where? Me. Company called Kane Ventures. Met the CEO today. Sophie. You're kidding. That's huge. Me. It's a junior role. Starting from scratch. Sophie. Doesn't matter. It's a start. I'm proud of you. I stared at the screen longer than I should have before replying. Me. Thanks. For the first time in months, the weight on my chest felt lighter. It wasn't redemption yet, but it was a way forward. Victor's office felt like another planet, polished marble, glass walls, a skyline view that made everything below look small. He leaned back in his chair. First lesson, he said. Business isn't about the best product. It's about leverage. I raised a brow. Leverage. Control over what others need. Make them believe you have it, even when you don't. That sounds like bluffing. It is bluffing, he said. The trick is doing it so well it becomes reality. I smirked. And you're going to teach me that. I'm going to teach you to survive. Big difference. My first weeks were a blur of meetings I didn't understand at first. Negotiations where numbers were weapons. Lunches where nothing was signed but everything was decided. One afternoon, I whispered to him during a tense pitch, "They're not agreeing to anything." "They will," he murmured. "How do you know?" "Because I gave them just enough to think they're winning." When the client finally shook hands, I asked, "So they lost?" "No," Victor said, "they just didn't win as much as we did." We were leaving another meeting when he stopped in the elevator. "You watch people too literally," he said. "I'm just paying attention." "Not enough. Watch what they're not saying. That's where the truth is." "And what aren't you saying to me?" I asked. "That you're too eager for revenge." I froze. "I never said you didn't have to. It's in how you listen when the names come up." I swallowed. "So what's your advice?" "Never forget who tried to bury you. But also, never act too soon." At night, I'd pull up Ethan's company news. Headlines bragged about new partnerships, smiling photos of him and Mason shaking hands with investors. But beneath the surface, delayed launches, sudden staff turnover. One article mentioned a cancelled contract. I read it twice, almost tasting satisfaction. Over coffee one morning, Sophie asked, "You still keeping tabs on them?" "Sometimes." She gave me a look. "Victor, no, of course. And he says I'm not ready." Her smile was faint. "He's right. A week later, Victor dropped a file on my desk. "Read that." It was a competitor's pitch deck, pages of numbers, weaknesses, blind spots. "Where did you get this?" I asked. "Doesn't matter. Tell me how you'd beat them." I hesitated. "We undercut them by 10% and..." "Wrong. We don't touch price. We target their supplier, tie them up in exclusivity, and make the competitor choke on delays." "That's business," he cut in. By month 3, I was no longer the quiet one in meetings. "Your numbers are optimistic," I told a vendor one day, "and your delivery times are slipping. We'll need penalties in the contract." Victor didn't interrupt. Later, in the hallway, he said, "Better. You're starting to sound like you belong." Still, Mason's name found its way into conversations. A colleague at lunch said, he was at the Harrington Gala last week, making jokes about someone who sleeps in cars. I set my fork down. He used my name, not directly, but everyone knew. I felt the heat rising in my chest. That night, I typed a message to him, then deleted it. One evening, after most had left, Victor stood by the window. "You're holding something back," he said without turning. "I heard Mason's being." "I know." "Then why?" "Because letting him think you're finished is worth more than answering him now." I clenched my fists. "Feels like doing nothing." "It's the opposite," Victor said. "It's choosing the exact moment when doing something will hurt the most." The change in me was slow, but I saw it. I was sharper, calculating angles before speaking. Deals no longer felt like foreign territory, they felt like opportunities. Every time I opened Ethan's news feed, I noticed another hairline crack in the foundation. And I kept my mouth shut. "For now." Victor slid the folder toward me. "Your turn to lead." I glanced at the client name, and my stomach tightened. "This is Ethan's territory." "Not anymore," he said. "They've put it out for bid. We're going to win. And if I screw it up, you won't." The morning of the presentation, I paced outside the boardroom. "Stop burning energy," Victor said. Nerves make people talk too much. You're here to control the room, not fill it. I exhaled. Control the room. Got it. Dash dash dash. When the door opened, I froze. Ethan walked in, all polished smile and false charm, Mason right behind him. Ethan's eyes landed on me. You, me, I said, sliding my laptop onto the table. Guess they wanted options. He smirked. You're out of your depth. Let's see. Dash dash dash. The clients filed in. I waited until they were seated before starting. Our approach isn't just numbers, I said. It's long-term stability. You've had supply issues before. Ethan cut in. Which we've solved. I held up a hand. By patching leaks instead of fixing the pipe. We offer the fix. The lead client leaned forward. Show us. I walked them through projections, contingencies, partnerships. Every question, I had an answer ready. Every interruption from Ethan, I countered with data. When it was over, silence stretched for a moment. Then the lead client said, I think we're done here. Ethan smiled. Excellent, we'll be going with Victor's firm, she said. Dash dash dash. Mason muttered, lucky break. I turned to him. Luck's what people call it when they can't admit they lost. Ethan's jaw clenched. Enjoy it while it lasts. Dash dash dash. In the hallway, Victor clapped my shoulder. You didn't just win, you took it from them. That's different. Feels good, I admitted. Get used to it, but don't get sloppy. Dash dash dash. That evening, my phone buzzed. A text from Ethan, this isn't over. I stared at the screen for a long moment, then typed back nothing. Instead, I let a slow smile spread. Because for me, it was just beginning. My phone buzzed while I was finishing a late report. Can we talk, Clara? I stared at the name. Months of silence, and now this. I typed, why? Because I owe you an apology. Against my better judgment, I replied, one coffee. Public place. Dash dash dash. She was already at the cafe when I walked in, hands wrapped around a mug like she needed the warmth to hold herself together. You came, she said, eyes searching mine. I'm curious, I said, sitting. Not forgiving. That's fair. She took a breath. I should have been there for you. I wasn't. You vanished the second things went bad. She looked down. I believed what I was told. My chest tightened. Which was, that you stole from the project. The words hit like a punch. Who told you that? Ethan. He said you'd taken money, sabotaged the deadline to cover it. I almost laughed at the absurdity, but the sound came out bitter. And you believed him. I wanted to ask you, but you didn't. I leaned back. You didn't even text. I was scared. Everyone was saying it. Mark, Mason, people avoided your name like it was poison. People, I repeated. Friends, you mean? She winced. I was wrong. Dash dash dash. Silence stretched. I forced myself not to grip the table. You know what that lie cost me? I asked. She nodded slowly. Your job, your place, your everything. It wasn't just losing things. It was losing people. Her voice dropped. That's why I reached out. Ethan's different lately. Nervous. Always asking if I've seen you. Like he's afraid you're planning something. She hesitated. Yes. I sipped my coffee to keep from smiling. Maybe I am. Clara leaned in. You are, aren't you? I didn't ask you here to confirm his paranoia. Then why did you? She asked. To hear you say the truth out loud. Dash dash dash. She swallowed. The truth is, I didn't just believe him, I helped spread it. I thought I was protecting myself. That's not protection, I said. That's betrayal with good PR. I know. She reached across the table, stopping short of my hand. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't undo it. I'm not asking for undoing. Just a chance to be better now. I studied her. Her guilt looked real, but I'd learned the hard way that guilt could be rehearsed. Dash dash dash. Why should I believe you now? I asked. Because I'm telling you he's cracking. He's making mistakes. Big ones. What kind? He's paranoid about competitors. Fires off late-night emails. Yells at Mason in meetings. He's afraid of shadows. I smiled faintly. Good, good, she said. Fear makes people sloppy. Her eyes narrowed. You've changed. Being lied about will do that. Dash dash dash. We sat in quiet for a moment, the hiss of the espresso machine filling the gap. Do you hate me? She asked finally. I hate what you did, I said. I'm still deciding. She looked down at her cup. That's better than I expected. It's worse than you think. Dash dash dash. When I stood, she did too. If you need information, I'll give it, she said. I'll think about it. You're really not going to tell me what you're planning? No, because you don't trust me. Because you might tell him. She opened her mouth, then shut it. You're right. Dash dash dash. Outside, the evening air was sharp. Clara walked with me to the corner. Whatever you're going to do, she said, just be careful. I looked at her. I'm past careful. That's what scares me. I didn't answer. Back at my apartment, I dropped my coat on the chair and stared at the city lights. My pulse was steady now, but the burn in my chest remained. Ethan had lied, destroyed my name, and counted on everyone believing him. He'd been right, almost everyone had. Almost. Now Clara was saying he was scared. That meant cracks. Cracks could be widened. I poured a drink and sat at my desk. My laptop glowed in the dark. It was time to start building. Liam called me from an unlisted number. You didn't get this call, he said. That's a strange greeting. I'm serious. If anyone asks, we never talked. I leaned back in my chair. Then why are we talking? He hesitated. Because I'm tired of watching him get away with it. Ethan. Who else? Things aren't as perfect as he's pretending. We're bleeding money. I smiled faintly. How bad? Bad enough that payroll's been delayed twice. He's been moving funds around to hide it. Creative accounting, shady contracts, stuff that would sink the company if it got out. Why tell me? I asked. You didn't deserve what happened. And, maybe I want to see him sweat. I kept my voice calm. You have proof. I have access, he said. But pulling files without a trace isn't easy. Send me what you can. No risks you can't walk away from. Right, and if anyone finds out. They won't, I said. Trust me. By midnight, encrypted files hit my inbox. My hands tightened on the mouse as I opened them. Contracts with forged signatures, shell companies funneling payments, clients billed for work never done. When Victor called the next morning, I kept my tone casual. Busy, he asked. Productively, I said. That's your I'm up to something voice. Maybe. Be careful. Power shifts aren't won by shouting, they're won by precision. I know. I contacted Jenna Lewis, a journalist I'd met years ago at a conference. I thought you vanished, she said when I called. I've been reorganizing my life. And now you have a story. One you'll want. How illegal are we talking? Enough to lead the 6 o'clock news, I said. She laughed softly. Email it. No. In person. We met in a small diner far from the business district. She slid into the booth, recorder in hand. This is off the record until I say otherwise, I told her. Fine. I handed over the flash drive. Unethical deals, fraudulent billing, shell companies, you'll find it all in there. Her eyes lit up. And your source, protected, permanently. She smirked. You've gotten better at this game. I've had practice. 3 days later, my phone blew up before I even got out of bed. Headlines screamed across every site. Ethan Hart Industries under fraud investigation. Jenna had done her work well, clear facts, damning evidence, airtight sourcing. Investors were already pulling out. Victor called first. You? He asked. Just a concerned citizen, I said. He chuckled. Remind me never to end up on your bad side. By afternoon, Ethan's PR team was in full damage control. Statements about baseless accusations flooded social media, but the markets didn't care. Stock prices slid like ice down glass. I watched the news, coffee in hand. Mason's face was notably absent from every photo op. Clara texted, he's losing it, screaming in meetings, asking if I've seen you. Tell him I'm busy, I replied. That night, Liam called again. You've started a war, he said. Wars have rules, I said. I'm just enforcing them. You think he knows it's you? He suspects, I said. But suspicion without proof is just paranoia. Still, you should be careful. I'm always careful, I lied. For a moment, I considered celebrating. I could have poured a drink, toasted to the chaos. But I didn't. Watching him lose was satisfying, yes, but it wasn't enough. I didn't just want him to fall. I wanted him to watch me rise higher. That would come later. For now, I let the headlines speak for me. Victor slid the contract across the table. You're officially funded, he said. I signed without hesitation. Then we're officially in business. You know this puts you directly in his path, he added. That's the point. Sophie grinned when I told her. You're serious about me joining? I don't ask people halfway, I said. She laughed. Then I'm all in. What's first? Clients. And I know exactly where to start. 2 weeks later, we sat across from one of Ethan's former accounts. I hear you've had service issues, I said. The client shifted uncomfortably. Let's just say we're open to alternatives. Sophie leaned forward. We don't make promises we can't keep. But when we commit, we deliver, fast. They exchanged glances. Send us a proposal. If the numbers make sense, we'll move. When the deal closed, Sophie burst into my office. First contract in the bag. She said, tossing the signed papers onto my desk. I smiled. One down, plenty more to go. You know he's going to hear about this, right? Good, I said. I hope he does. The media came quicker than I expected. A reporter cornered me outside a meeting. You're being called the man who rose from nothing. Care to comment? I didn't rise from nothing, I said. I rose from being pushed down. The headline that night was even better than the quote. At a networking gala, champagne glasses clinked around me. That's when I spotted Emily. She approached with a practiced smile. I've been meaning to congratulate you. Have you? I asked. You've done well for yourself. Better than most expected. Some people set the bar too low. She tilted her head. Ethan doesn't appreciate loyalty the way he should. People like you value results. I sipped my drink. Loyalty's only worth something when it's real. Her smile tightened. If you ever need insight, call me. I'll keep that in mind, I said, knowing I wouldn't. Later, Sophie found me. Was that Emily Hart? Yes. She looked like she wanted a job. She looked like she wanted a lifeboat, I said. Sophie grinned. And you're not throwing one. Not my style. Over the next month, more former clients came my way. Some were cautious, others eager to escape Ethan's sinking ship. Each contract we signed felt like another brick pulled from his foundation. Victor called one afternoon. You're making waves. That was the plan. Careful, you might capsize him entirely. I'm counting on it. One morning, while leaving a client's office, I caught sight of him. Ethan stood across the street, watching me. Our eyes met. His jaw tightened. I didn't break stride. The following day, a journalist called. Ethan Hart refused to comment on your latest deal, she said. Any response? Then my work speaks for itself, I told her. She laughed. It's speaking loudly. Victor invited me to a private dinner with investors. The conversation was all numbers, growth rates, market expansion. Between courses, one of them leaned in. You were written off once, he said. Now you're outpacing the ones who wrote you off. I smiled. I learned something from it. Don't take survival for granted. After the event, I stepped outside into the cool night air. Across the street, half hidden in the crowd, I saw him again. Ethan didn't speak, didn't cross over, just stared. For the first time, I saw something in his eyes, fury laced with helplessness. I got in my car and drove away, leaving him there. I wasn't done, not yet, but the balance had shifted, and he knew it. The message came mid-morning. We should talk, just us, Ethan. I stared at the screen before replying. Where? Vellum Cafe, tonight, When I arrived, he was already there, suit jacket folded over the chair, hands clasped on the table. You came, he said. I was curious what you thought you could say. He exhaled slowly. I wanted to clear the air. I sat. Go ahead, breathe freely. It wasn't personal, he began. What happened between us, it was business. Decisions had to be made, and you were expendable. I cut in. His mouth tightened. It was complicated. Not for me, I said. You lied. You spread it. That's not complicated. Ethan leaned forward. I did what I had to do. If I hadn't, I would have lost everything. You still lost everything, I said. He flinched. You think I'm proud of it? I'm not. Pride isn't the issue, I said. Integrity is. He gestured toward me. Look at you now. You landed on your feet. You're winning. That doesn't erase what you did. I'm offering peace, he said. I laughed. Peace. You're offering convenience. There's a difference. I'm trying to say I'm sorry, he insisted. No, I said. You're trying to say enough words to make yourself feel better. His jaw clenched. So what? Revenge forever. You can't carry this weight. I don't carry it, I said. I use it. You think destroying me will fix something inside you. It's not about fixing. It's about making sure you understand the cost. He leaned back, studying me. And what's the price now? You already paid part of it. The rest, you'll feel when I stop caring entirely. His eyes narrowed. You'd rather stay enemies than move forward. Yes, I said. Because you're not sorry, you're cornered. He opened his hands, as if that proved openness. I came here to make amends. No, I said again, rising from my chair. You came here to negotiate. Isn't that what people do? He asked. People who are desperate, yes. He stood too. You think you're untouchable now? That I can't find a way back? I stepped closer. I think you're already looking up at me, and that's new for you. His breath hitched, just enough for me to see. I won't grovel, he said. I wouldn't believe it if you did, I replied. For a moment, neither of us moved. The low murmur of other diners filled the silence between us. Last chance, he said quietly. We walk away from this tonight, shake hands, and it's over. I shook my head. Forgiveness is for people who are sorry. You're not sorry, you're just drowning. His fingers curled against the tabletop. One day, you'll regret this. Maybe, I said, but not today. I pushed in my chair and walked toward the door. Wait, he called after me. I didn't. Outside, the air felt lighter. Through the cafe window, I saw him still standing there, staring at the empty chair across from him. He had wanted control. He left with silence, and that was enough. For now. Sophie tossed a folder onto my desk. Another deal signed. That's 3 this week. I grinned. You're making me look lazy. You're the face, she said. I'm the engine. We both do our part. And the investors, all happy. Some still can't believe you pulled this off. Victor stepped in without knocking. The press wants another interview. They're calling you a self-made phenomenon. I raised an eyebrow. Their words, not yours. My words are less polite, he said, smirking. But yes, phenomenon works. I leaned back. Book it. Might as well keep feeding the fire. Later, over drinks in the office lounge, Sophie asked, does it feel real yet? What do you mean? This, all of it. The contracts, the attention, the money. I swirled my glass. It feels earned. She tilted her head. Not satisfying. It's more than satisfying. It's proof. Proof of what? That they were wrong about me. Every single one of them. Sophie smirked. You're thinking about Ethan. I'm thinking about everyone who thought I'd disappear. Same thing. I didn't deny it. By the time I got home, the city lights stretched endlessly below my balcony. I stepped outside, the night air cool against my skin. I could still hear the echoes, people telling me I wouldn't make it, that I'd never recover. In my head, I heard Liam's voice from months ago, they think you're finished. I'd been sleeping in my car then, counting coins for coffee. My reflection in shop windows had looked like a ghost, someone half gone. Sophie's words earlier came back to me. Does it feel real yet? Yes, now it did. The phone buzzed. A message from Clara. Saw your latest interview. Proud of you. I typed back, thanks. She replied instantly. You did it. Victor had once told me success was the only answer worth giving your enemies. I hadn't believed him until tonight. The sound of the city below felt different now, less like chaos, more like applause. I thought of the boy I'd been. The one who had nowhere to sleep but the backseat of an old sedan. The one who'd swallowed humiliation like medicine, hoping it would someday work. I whispered into the dark, we made it. The wind carried it away. Inside, I poured a drink and left the lights off. My reflection in the glass doors looked older, sharper, certain. This wasn't about Ethan anymore. It hadn't been for a while. When the media called me the man who rose from nothing, they missed the point. I hadn't just risen. I built something higher than anything they could touch. Sophie texted. Tomorrow, big client meeting. Be ready to charm. I wrote back, I'm always ready. For a long time, I just stood at the balcony rail, the city breathing around me. I smiled, not because I destroyed Ethan, but because I proved them wrong. All of them. In the end, my revenge wasn't ruining them. It was becoming everything they swore I could never be.